Hi, guys. Welcome back for our daily practice questions. As always, I'd like to first get into my introduction and disclaimer before getting started with our questions for today. So, for those of you who are familiar with me, hey, y'all. For those of you who are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Dr. Brittany Weinstock. I am a family nurse practitioner, and I am the founder and CEO of the Nursing Studio. I provide resources, tools, review courses, review books, Q banks, one on one sessions, and more to assist nurses as well as nurse practitioners with success on their boards as well as in practice. I've been doing this since 2015, assisting nurses and nurse practitioners internationally with exam success. Now, y'all know my disclaimer reminder is that we do not have any absolutes in medicine. We treat on a patient by patient basis, and any of the questions that you see here, I have designed and created based on the current guidelines being tested on the ANCC as well as AANP exam. Now, any of the videos that you may see, if I'm teaching on things that we currently do in practice, I will always say that so there's no confusion. So, with that being said, let's get into question number one for today. Question number one states the nurse practitioner and NP student are discussing total cholesterol. What level should the total cholesterol not exceed? Is it A, 100, B, 150, C, 200, or D, 250? Take a moment and tell me what you got in the comments, you guys. All right, I always recommend reading the stem of the question first to ensure you're answering what is even being asked of you. So the stem of the question here states, what level should the total cholesterol not exceed? Pay attention to those terms like not, so you're not missing things, right? So, and these are knowledge-based questions. Your total cholesterol should not exceed 200. When it does, then we need to initiate therapy and management at that time, right? So total cholesterol needs to be less than 200. Question number two, the nurse practitioner and NP student are discussing triglycerides. What level should triglycerides not exceed? Is it A, 100, B, 150, C, 200, or D, 250? Take a moment and tell me what you got, you guys. So here, stem of the question states, what level should triglycerides not exceed? Again, paying attention to the term not. Remembering triglycerides should not exceed B, 150. If it does, you want to start to initiate therapy. Noting also, we don't want to exceed over 500. We don't want our triglycerides to exceed over 150. If they do, we initiate therapy, right? But pay attention if it significantly exceeds this range and is greater than 500, you need to consider pancreatitis as a potential source and diagnosis, and then you need to treat differently. Niacin and phenofibrates work towards triglycerides in any situation, but when you have one exceeding 500, you want to start with, you can do either or, but the latest guidelines show that phenofibrate should be initiated first to help bring down those increasingly high triglyceride levels greater than 500, right? And then lastly, question number three, the nurse practitioner and NP student are discussing LDL. What range should a healthy patient with no more than one comorbidity LDL not exceed? Is it A, 100, B, 150, C, 200, or D, 250? All right, and stem the question here states, what range should a healthy patient with no more than one comorbidity LDL not exceed? And the answer is A, 100. Remembering with LDLs, but for testing purposes, know that you don't want the LDL to exceed 100. But I like to teach y'all for boards as well as practice, right? So with LDLs, there are various ranges because our LDL is our bad cholesterol. We do not want it to exceed 100 for people who are healthy with no more than one comorbidity. If this person does not have any comorbidities, completely healthy, they actually say by guidelines that we don't want it to exceed 120. Again, for testing purposes, no, not to exceed 100. Now, for people who have multiple comorbidities, especially with a heart history, we actually don't want the LDL to be greater than 70. So this is just a sidebar note. But for testing purposes, we do not want the LDL to exceed 100. Y'all know I always tell you guys with my teaching for cholesterol management, statins really work to decrease the LDLs. Know your different statin therapies. We have low intensity, moderate intensity, and high intensity statins. because they decrease the LDL levels by certain percentages, right? For example, like a high intensity statin will decrease the LDL by 50%. So that's how we gauge what you truly need when treating these. And that, if you struggle with that, I have a video, I can link it in the description to help you with that. But remember, Brittany's Brilliant says SNF, SNF for cholesterol management. We start with our statins. Next is our niacin, and then we finish with the fenofibrate, right? SNF. Start with a statin. Next is a niacin, and then we finish with the fenofibrate. So what does that mean? When we're managing those cholesterol levels, you want to start with a statin therapy. And if we still are not at goal with the statins max, then you can add in a niacin. Still not at goal, you can add in a fenofibrate. That's how we work through. Except in the situation where you're trying to correct the triglycerides. Again, you can start with a niacin or a fenofibrate, but the latest guidelines show to make a fenofibrate that first line therapy if those triglycerides are exceeding 500. All right, you guys, I hope you found this helpful. As always, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share with whomever you may think may find this beneficial as well. But make sure you meet me back here. And if you need any of the resources that I offer, feel free to reach out to the nursing studio by giving us a call at 803 400 6864. You can also shoot a text message to this number or shoot us an email to the nursing studio, the number one at gmail.com. The things that I do offer are my review book. You can find that in an ebook option or the paperback option. They're both linked in the bio of this channel. If you're someone who prefers to review independently, I have a self-paced review designed for family and adult Gero, preparing for both the AANP or ANCC. That's also linked in the bio of this channel. My Q banks that have now been launched and released are also linked in the bio of this channel. You'll find all of the tier options for the Q bank, where you can find 10 of the many practice quizzes. I should say there's 10 separate quizzes under that Q bank, or you can do a practice exam 1 or a practice exam 2, or you can choose to opt for the bundle and get all 3 of those Q bank options. All of those are linked in the bio of the channel. Lastly, the 5-week group review, the final one for this year, it starts September 9th through October the 18th. That is linked in the description of this video. So I'll also link the cholesterol video, as I mentioned, to help you if you struggle with that. But if you're looking to enroll in this, we have 3 spaces available. It's linked in the description. And then my one-on-one sessions, I always say reach out to us at the nursing studio, because all one-on-one sessions are customized. So let's gauge what you truly need. You can book a session to cover weaknesses. You can book an exam readiness assessment, or you can book the custom plan that covers you over the time frame that you're looking to study. So again, if you need any of those resources, feel free to reach out to the nursing studio. But y'all know what to do. Make sure you meet me back here. Happy studying. Bye, y'all.